There was something in the water back then, something in the culture. It was a culture that valued education. It valued autodidacts, people who could teach themselves. It valued a fundamental curiosity about how the world works, a desire to explore it, and an unyielding confidence that even if you weren't an expert in something, you could still figure it out with the right combination of self-education and curiosity. That's what distinguished our country, because compared to nations like France and England, it's true that America was actually really provincial at that time. We were nothing more than a backwater cluster of a bunch of small towns scattered along an eastern seaboard. Economically, militarily, geopolitically, we were destined to be nothing more than a footnote in global history. But the people who those footnotes would have been written about, they were actually deeply curious about the world they inhabited, about the history to which they contributed. And they were deeply confident in their ability to change every part of it for the better.
Presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy is surging. His intellectually rich speeches and unwavering commitment to standing up for President Trump against this weaponized legalism coming out of the corrupt Biden Justice Department is winning him more and more fans. And he's now even begun to surge past Ron DeSantis. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. And while there's no way anyone could even realistically hope to steal the GOP nomination from the one and only Donald J. Trump, nevertheless, Vivek Ramaswamy is indeed separating himself from the pack. A couple of weeks back, a Kaplan strategy survey recognized a surge for Ramaswamy. It was the first poll that found DeSantis and Ramaswamy tied at 12 points each among Republicans. Now we've got an Ohio Northern University poll that not only shows President Trump absolutely dominating the Republican primary race with 64% support, far and away ahead of all of his competitors, but the poll showed Ramaswamy moving to second place with 12% support, with DeSantis dropping to third with 9% support. And as if that weren't bad enough, now we have Ramaswamy surpassing DeSantis in Predict It. DeSantis is being overtaken in the betting markets. So this is but the latest development in this contrary motion between Ramaswamy and DeSantis. Ramaswamy keeps going up. DeSantis is going perpetually down. Look, the DeSantis campaign's basically in a free fall. And it's not just DeSantis. Every other candidate, for the exception of Vivek Ramaswamy, is committing political suicide precisely because they are all banking on these indictments to take Trump out of the field. That's precisely what unites both Mike Pence and Ron DeSantis. Rich Barris of the People's Pundit has been talking about this. All the other candidates, for the exception of Ramaswamy, believe, based on what their donors and their strategists are telling them, they all believe that their path to victory is Trump's indictments. In other words, if there are no indictments, there is no conceivable path to victory for any of these other Republican candidates. So Trump getting handed these indictments, Trump getting arraigned and all that is all a necessary component to their only possible path to the nomination. That's why they're not rallying behind Trump. That's why Pence is running around trying to throw Trump under the bus. And that's why DeSantis is now saying that the 2020 election was the most pristine, honest election in human history. In other words, all these other candidates are sounding indistinguishable from Democrats. Which means now they're all coming under the Liz Cheney TDS curse. The moment you start sounding like Nancy Pelosi, the Republican rank and file is done with you. And that's exactly what I think is happening to DeSantis. We're seeing he is now coming in third in a number of polls for the nomination behind Ramaswamy. So if we know why DeSantis is sinking, why is Ramaswamy surging? Well, first, how many UFC fans do we have out there? You know, we know the one and only Donald Trump is a huge UFC fan, as are the fighters of him. But have you ever wondered how they deal with their pain? Well, you don't have to, because a fellow patriot and good friend of this channel is precisely the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. We all know as we age, aches and pains are normal, but you know they don't have to be. And that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. You've seen Clint on Fox. You've seen him a number of times on this channel. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2. It's the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds. And it's the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. And the best part is CB2, no documented side effects after years in private testing. It's absolutely the future of pain relief. So whatever you do, make sure to click on that link below and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now. Brexit leader Nigel Farage recently said that Ramaswamy may indeed be the ideal VP for Trump. Ramaswamy's young, right? He's in his mid-30s. He's got a warm personality. He's got a good sense of humor. He's been very economically successful. He's on a warpath against wokeness in the corporate world. He believes in individual responsibility, believes in freedom, believes in entrepreneurship. But what Farage is really getting at here is that Ramaswamy recognizes that there's absolutely no way he could even remotely sound like Nancy Pelosi, which means he has to stand up for Trump in the midst of these insane indictments, which he has thus far done. Check it out.
It's another sad moment in our country's history. The 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, has yet again been indicted by the Biden DOJ, a political party in power that is now repeatedly using police force to indict and arrest and potentially eliminate its political opponents from competition. This is a politicized prosecution. It is a political persecution through prosecution, now in a third indictment just in a matter of months against the person who is still at present the lead contender in the Republican primary for U.S. president. I want to be very clear. I am running for U.S. president in that same Republican primary. It would be easier for me if Donald Trump were eliminated from competition. That's not how I want to win. This is not about politics to me. This is about first principles. We do not want to become a country where the party in power is able to use banana republic-like tactics to eliminate its political opponents. Yet I'm sad to say that's exactly where we are.
Now, that was brilliant, because that's something that Pelosi, of course, would never, ever say. Again, this is precisely why DeSantis is falling apart. His comments about the indictments are at points indistinguishable from the asinine nonsense you hear spewed from Pelosi or Schumer. Now, it's obviously not going to be a cakewalk for Ramaswamy, right? Some of his original J6 comments condemning Trump are coming back to haunt him. Obviously, Oppo research is going to find some embarrassing past comments and political positions that he's taken that he's going to have to deal with now. That said, though, the very fact that the most successful alternative to Trump is largely successful because he's effectively aligning himself with Trump rather than trying to undermine him shows how effectively the Republican Party has become a Trump party. And until these other candidates learn that, they are going to continue to fall apart while Vivek Ramaswamy continues to surge. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.